just a fun fact about your life.
Yeah. My name is Kaylee Mills. I am the English voice of Keqing. And if you come see me later, I'll give you a bean to go hide somewhere.
I'm Inyato. I'm the voice of Raiden Shogun. And a fun fact about me is that I spent 7.5 years working as a forensic scientist. Come ask me that.
Hi, I'm Chris Trigliafera. I voice Capitano, and I'm also Yomiya's dad in this. And, the proprietor of the Nagahara Fireworks. And a fun fact about me is I'm currently trying really hard to learn Spanish.
Oh.
So also, if you come up and meet me, please speak Espanol, and I will try to respond back. I can usually hold my own. I'm just más despacio.
Hi, I'm Corey Yee. I'm the English voice of Gorou, and fun fact about me is I have a C6 Elon, and I just recently cleared Spiral Abyss 12 3 times with only 2 characters in each party, so I'm just gonna
Hi, my name is Karina Becker. I'm the English voice of Paimon, and fun fact about me is I am an avid follower of Cthulhu. May chaos Also, I'm going to correct you. The story is actually about the most annoying person you know, making the story entirely about them, when it's actually about other people. That's what the story is about.
So, Karina, I actually want to start by directing a question to you because you're like the OG Genshin up on this panel.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the project?
Oh boy. The main director, Chris Fiala, had worked with me on a game called Ida Somnium Files, which you should totally play because it's really good. And there's a second one out now. So basically, when he got approached to direct for the game of Genshin, Mihoyo was like, do you know many people who would audition? And he's like, I've got so many. And he basically sent a whole bunch of auditions to the entire cast of Ida Somnium Files, amongst other people too, because obviously we couldn't fill every role. There's a billion people in Genshin. So I got to audition for the Traveler, Paimon, and then I believe it was Amber. Because it was either Amber or Xiangling, but I think it was Amber. Got a call back later, realized that it was Chris, and I was like, oh my god, I love you, yay! I know who you are! And what they had told me originally was that this was super down to earth, nothing cartoony. No, seriously, I was there and I was like looking at the character's picture and I was like, you sure about that? So I did my callback, you know, and like, again, super down to earth, nothing cartoony. Okay. And then like I booked it and I was like, okay, cool. And I remember the first session because I thought I was gonna get recast because they kept on being like, no, higher pitched. And I was like, this is not what I auditioned with. No, higher? Hey, seriously, not what I auditioned with. So, you know, in the first part of the game, Paimon's a little bit not as high pitched. That's because that's originally what I auditioned with. And throughout the game, Mihoyo was like, higher. And I was like, cool, I can do that. And then they were like, so basically if this is Ocarina of Time, you're the Navi of this world. And then I was like, oh wait, no, I got it. And that made me the happiest person ever because I actually love Navi, and have since I was a very small child, playing Ocarina of Time myself and being obsessed with it. And I've always said, like, I wanted to be Navi, and now I basically am that. So, leave it
To get into character, Karina, you just go, listen!
I've tried to fit that in the game so many times, it hasn't worked yet. But this time.
Someday. Now, for the rest of you, you know, obviously came into Genshin the way it works is there's updates and more characters and new areas and people and weapons, etc. are constantly being added. So, Kaylee, when you jumped into Genshin, Genshin, did you feel like intimidated already knowing like what a huge fan base there was for this?
So I actually didn't, because Keqing was one of the characters that was kind of released with the game.
Yes, that's right.
So I had no idea like how big the game was going to be, like what it was going to be at this point.
Right.
It wasn't released yet. Like,
right.
We had some beta things going on, that's about it. So I just remember being like, this is a very pretty character. I'm not going to get that one. And then I booked it, and I was like, this is amazing. And I knew Cora was on it, and she was one of my best friends. So I was like, this is very exciting. Like, we get to be in something together. So that was really
Did you have any similar experiences with like the people from Hoyoverse telling you to alter what you had auditioned with?
Not really. They kind of went with like what I did for the audition, but they were kind of just trying to find the really good balance between like being business-like and still being like a personable character. And I feel like that got a lot easier after like the Chase Festival, because until then, like you only really saw Keqing as like, okay, this is like she's like running the show, she's like really business-like and kind of cool. But then you saw like the Golden Shrimp Ball fiasco, and you're like, okay, no, she has a weakness. And she's like a little bit tsundere, and just getting to explore more of that part of her made me understand her better as a character going forward, so that Lyra will like always be there now. So that,
Corey, what was your experience like coming into the world of Genshin, both like as a voice actor working on the game and also just like being involved with this massive community?
Yeah, so like I actually was in the game at launch with my NPC characters.
Oh,
so
you got upgraded.
Yeah, I got
Diana's dad is the best.
Yes, I represent ears today as Diana's dad. So I was like some of those NPCs and really enjoyed all those roles and really like started doing research on the game as it was launching. I was like, oh, this looks like the game that I've been waiting to play actually. So that's like what was really awesome for me. But then of course I started getting the auditions because I actually didn't have an agent at the time of when I first got in the game. And then I got an agent, then I started getting auditions and stuff like that. And then I got to audition it and eventually got Gorou. So that was a really cool experience. And it's definitely a lot of pressure because, this is an important game to me personally, and I have, I care about it, and it matters to so many people. So that was, it was a little intimidating initially, and then it's like, you just have to do the actor thing and really just commit to the role and do your best.
And Chris, you also play a couple of roles in Genshin.
Yeah, I just got autocast as NPC roles, and then like 2 sessions before I did Capitano, they brought me in for like 1 line for these NPCs, like literally 1 line, and then they kept saying it's like, oh, you auditioned for this role and you're going to be recording it then. And I was like, I don't remember auditioning for any of this, and I kept asking, I asked my agent, I was like, do you know what role this is? And they just ghosted me. Nobody knew what it was. And then I get it, and the signs come out, and it says the captain, it's 3 lines, and I'm like, this guy doesn't even have a name. This is another NPC. And then it's not until like I actually got into it that I was like, oh, and then they told me it was under a crazy code name. And I'm really glad I had no idea it was for Genshin. But so anyway, whenever I didn't have the pressure of it because at every step of it, I was like, this sounds like a nonsense game. Like the code name they gave for it was nonsense.
No, it's very grounded and serious. We already learned that.
Well, no, the character was. And I mean, it said like really like serious. So there was just nothing that clued me into it. And then we got into it, and then it was that trailer, and then I was like, oh, this is a big deal. So I'll actually do a good job of this one.
Now, and when you were auditioning, did you know that it was Genshin that you were going in for?
Yeah, I mean, it was under a code name, but like, I was familiar
You
with
had deduced.
Genshin.
Yeah,
like I figured out that it was Genshin, but like I didn't know, I played like the game for like, I don't know, like 25 days or something at launch, and then I put it away because I was like, this is time's up.
And a money suck.
And a money suck, yeah. But I didn't know like who this like group of characters that I was auditioning for were about.
Right.
I just knew that she was like an important lady who like lived in a puppet, and I was like, okay.
Lived in a puppet.
So like, I did my best, and then when they told me I booked Genshin, I was like, okay, good, it was Genshin. And they're like, you are Raiden Shogun, and I was like, that was not
great.
Who is Raiden Shogun? I was like, okay, well maybe we talked about it in the game. Like the game like talks about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So I was just looking it up, seeing if there was any like, you know, obscure references, and it was like ball, and I was like, oh. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, and speaking of Raiden Shogun, because again, you did bring up the idea that it's like she is kind of two people, and so
three people. She's
three
people.
Yeah.
Raiden Shogun,
But when the audition came out, like the third voice wasn't.
The third, yeah. So, can you talk about your process of kind of like differentiating between the like multiple personalities?
Yeah. So like the assignment was to do two voices, quote unquote, because they're like two separate entities, but they're like the same entity. It's like same but different. So I went with that thought. So I like made her. I wanted her to have a regal feel. So it was like not exactly Mid-Atlantic, but you know, kind of getting close to that. And then like, I don't know, like I just looked at her and I was like, she feels a little breathy. And then I was like, okay, well if it's a puppet, then she's breathy, but she's also authoritative. And then if she's the one inside, I was like, she's a little breathy, but she's actually nice. And then, you know, kind of doesn't understand things. So that was like my thought about the two of them, and then I guess they liked it.
Can I say that it's just like honestly one of the most amazing things watching your different like versions of A and Raiden and all that like together. It's really
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, okay, so that's the thing is, again, it's like there's sort of multiple personalities, but the whole process behind it originally was that like A was off like meditating in some metaphysical plane.
Yes. Yes. Inside the puppet.
the plane of you find me.
The plane
Yes.
inside you.
So I want to know, and I pose this question to you first, Anne, because you do play Raiden Shogun. If you could, like, create a vessel, and then, like, you, Anne, could go, like, be somewhere else, like, what life tasks would you assign to your puppet, and then, like, what would you keep for, like, real Anne?
Oh, no, I'd just be making my puppet do all the boring stuff. Dishes, my laundry,
Yeah.
meals for me. Oh, no, they wouldn't like me at all.
No wonder Scaramouche has a problem with you.
Damn.
Corey, do you feel that you would be, like, nicer to your puppet self if you had one?
No.
So Corey, let's talk a little bit about Paimon. You know, they're like the mascot of Genshin as a whole. How does it feel to have that like rest on your shoulders?
It doesn't. I mean, here's the thing. It's the matter of the fact is that I'm just the actor. I'm not the actual character.
True.
My job is to give a voice to this character, and that's where that line is drawn. You know, and so the shoulders isn't really on me until I get actually in the booth. And even in the booth, I'm a heathen. So my job in the booth is to try and put in as many memes as I can in the game. And I believe the most recent one was, they're roommates. It took me 30 minutes to convince them to keep it in.
Thank you for doing the
Booga was amazing.
Booga also was one that I did, because they originally had just said, yeah! And I was like, I got one better, it's a Courage the Cowardly Dog reference. So yeah.
So Paimon has like a multitude of nicknames that characters have referred to her as across the board.
I tried to make more, they didn't stick.
Well, that was what I was going to ask you. Like, do you have a personal nickname for Paimon, like one that you're like trying to get in there? What's up?
Idiot.
Idiot.
She's so dumb. I can't tell you how many times I'm in the recording booth and I'm like, why would you say that? Like, I'm autistic and I think that's bad.
Oh no.
It's so bad. Like, I mean, it was all through, you know, there are certain times where, like, she walks into Inazuma and the first thing she does is she makes fun of their god.
Machakla.
Yeah, Machakla for real. I think that's generally a bad idea when that happens. I don't know, just a thought.
Some of us like to fight those gods, okay?
That's your choice.
Chris, let's talk a little about Capitano, because you were saying that originally you'd come in as an NPC, basically, and then you like made this transition into doing more. So just can you just tell me about how because you'd already been involved with Genshin, and what was it like for you coming into a larger role?
I think the main thing was I first off had to figure out what the audition was, and when I did, I went back and I was able to look at the touchstones of that character, and then actually dive deeper into it, because for so long it was like you've been cast in this.
Right.
So really, it was really about just going back to the actual audition, not as much, and just learning everything I could about, what was it, Scaramouche was brought up, and Inazuma was brought up, Gnosis was brought up, so I had to go and research what all these things meant, so I knew what I was talking about, so it's not just talking about that. I don't know, it's been fun. I mean, overall, Capitano's said, he's been in the trailer 20 seconds or something. And he may come out tomorrow, or maybe 2 years, I don't know.
Celebration's gonna take 3.
Yeah, but it's been fun. I started playing the game, and it's been great getting to know the community.
Yeah.
The thing that's kind of funny is people will jump into my stream though, and they're like, oh, I remember this, the Hilly Churls, and
Oh my God.
all these things that are really Mondstadt.
Yeah, you're really Mondstadt, yeah.
Everyone comes back and gets nostalgic. I'm like, this is all new to me.
Well, speaking of early game, again, Haley, like you were saying, Keqing was originally released with the game, and you're talking a little bit about discovering her more fun side, because she's very business oriented. She's very much a skeptic. She's humans need to take care of their own problems. And then can you tell me about discovering the sort of onion layers or parfait layers? People like parfaits maybe better than onions. I don't know. I'm a fan. Talk a little bit more about the multifaceted aspects of Keqing.
Yeah. So I feel like I said in Moon Chase festivals when I really started to be able to explore that more, and it happened really naturally because it was kind of her relationship with Xiangling and letting herself have friends and being wait, these people are my friends, they like me, and oh, that's understandable. I was really closed off growing up, so I really connected with the idea of somebody that kind of brings out the best in me. It's like the Wednesday.
Yeah.
So and then being oh, people actually like me. And then I'm comfortable with them enough to talk about the things that I like, and I'm okay. It's okay that I like things, and it's okay that I have my preferences, and I can still do the business, even if I have a personality, which is great. Because I feel it's she obviously has a personality and has had one, but I feel a lot of the time you're oh, I need to only do this. I can only show this. What are other people going to think about it? Are they not going to respect me if they see this side of me? So her being vulnerable in Moon Chase, even though it was this cute little thing over golden shrimp balls, is actually really cute.
Yeah, well, because again, it's you are dealing with this character who's very much presenting just one aspect of herself to the world, because she feels she needs to do that in order to have respect. And again, also coming back around to her skepticism, being humans need to take care of their own problems. We can't just believe in destiny, etc., etc. Do you relate to that aspect of the character? Or are you more of a big cosmic plan kind of person?
I'm definitely more of I need to put the work in, even if there's a plan, nothing's gonna happen unless I put the work in. And I definitely grew up with during the recession and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing I can't, I have to always put the work in if I want a chance at any kind of what I want to do. And I wanted to be an actor since I was 12.
Yeah.
So I started doing that online and stuff when I was a kid, and I was just always on about that. And there's definitely some luck aspect to getting where I am for sure. But I also always went for that.
Yeah, but you put in the work. That's the thing, is if you put in the work ahead of time, when the luck happens, you're ready. Yeah. You're ready for that.
Yeah, because I never want to regret having not put the work in and be oh, this maybe didn't happen because I didn't try to do this thing or put the work in. If it doesn't happen because it doesn't happen, that's
right. Yeah.
You should try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tried, exactly. All right, Corey, let's talk about this very good dog boy.
Hey, woo!
Wait, what? I feel I heard somebody yell something out and I did anyway.
Gorou, best boy.
Best
What do you want to know?
I want to know about his, his like general attitude towards his dogness, because sometimes his like tail waggles and he's like can't really control it.
Yeah, so I think what I love the most about Gorou is that he really did have a chance to be a multifaceted character.
Yeah.
And like, there's the weaknesses of his that are like dealing with tall, scary women and sweets. No, don't worry about that. But like, despite like all of the more comedic stuff, he also has chances to like be in really serious moments too, like fighting against oppression and dealing with like death. Like that's like a huge part of like his hangout stories. And like I love the fact that they were able to really find some really great moments that reflect me a lot too, where it's like I can be really serious or I can be ridiculous and really embarrassed and scared and stuff like that. So that's really like honestly why I love this character and connect to him so much. Like he always tries to do his best, and sometimes that's not good enough, but he's going to give that anyway. He's going to try to be good.
Would you say that that's like the biggest lesson that you learned through your process of creating this character vocally?
Yeah, I mean, because initially he was only in the Archon quest for a couple things, and then it was like 2 or 3 patches later, I think, that he was actually in his hangout and in becoming playable became a thing. And I wasn't positive exactly like why I connected to the character initially, because we didn't get to see all that yet, right? Like some of it's in the sides in the audition, but that's not in the game yet. And so when the hangout came out, and that's when we really discovered exactly like who this character is and what he stands for and what hilarious things, what antics he can get into. But that then it became something really truly special for me.
Yeah. Now, if you, like Gorou, could understand dogs,
yes.
What do you think is a big lesson we could learn from dogs as a society?
Probably that we need to be happier and satisfied with things that are in front of us, and to always try to find joy before criticizing and being too angry with things, but still being strong and protective.
Yeah. I think that's a very good lesson. I had somebody say to me that they were like, dogs are smarter than us because it's like when they wake up in the morning they stretch. I'm like, we should start doing that.
Basics.
Stretch in the morning, spend some more time laying in the sunlight,
I don't do those things.
Yeah. So I, for my day-to-day job, I work at Fandom. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with the Genshin Impact Wiki. It is consistently our #3 wiki across all of fandom by millions and millions of visits. So for anybody who has ever used the Genshin Impact Wiki, thank you for your contributions. They specifically asked me to give them a shout out. So anyway, I do have some interesting data. So I'm going to ask you guys a little trivia question here. It is related to some page rankings. Okay, so this is what it is. It's who do you think was the top individual character page across all of the Genshin Impact Wiki in 2022? Okay, what do you think, Cor?
Child.
Okay. Corey, what's your guess?
2022?
2022, so last year.
Can I think about it?
You can think about it, yeah. Yeah?
No, last year, damn.
Yeah, last year. You can change your answer.
This year. I am going to change my answer.
Okay.
Tanari.
Oh, okay.
If it was last year, yeah.
Characters only?
This is just characters. I'm specifically talking character pages.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna guess I'll hate them.
No, it's Thursday.
It could be Skirmish, but
Oh.
I think it's just too late for that. Everyone has to earlier.
I still think Skirmish.
Okay. Okay. You're all wrong, but I'm going to give you a hint and let you guess again. It's somebody on this panel.
It's Raiden Shogun.
Final answer?
Yeah?
It is Raiden Shogun.
Of course it is.
Yeah, Raiden Shogun is actually the number 5 overall page across the entire Genshin Impact wiki.
Wow.
Those people still don't know how to build her, huh?
After her, there wasn't another ranked character until the number 9 overall page, which was Kaedehara, and then Shangli was number 10. Yeah. Now, for the rest of you, Chris, I'm sorry, Capitano's not in the not in the top 100 pages.
Doesn't even have a face.
So just
He is a place that people love it, okay?
So just to give you an idea, there are currently 15,622 pages on the Genshin Impact Wiki.
Oh my god.
Honestly, shocked there's not more.
Right? So the rest of y'all are in the top 100, so congrats. Oh yeah. Keqing's number 50. Paimon's number 53.
That's way too high.
And yours is number 71. Which, as we know, based on this audience, they're like, that cannot be right.
Gorou should definitely be above Paimon. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Everyone knows everything they need to know about Gorou already.
He is very transparent.
Knows everything they need to know about Paimon. She doesn't stop talking.
I mean, maybe if Keqing had a story quest, people would stop wondering.
You know, there was a time, early development, before the game came out, where they were considering actually letting the Traveler talk, and that means I would talk less. And I was like, yeah, do that. Like, I'm good. I have enough lines. And then they were like, nah, we're gonna give you more now. And I was like, what did you do?
They were like, we gotta go silent protagonist on this one.
It's okay, we still have Windblade.
And their solve for that was just have Paimon talk more. So this is a question that comes to all of y'all from the Genshin Impact Wiki community, which is, what kind of stories and aspects do you want further explored with your character in the future? Well, let's start with Keqing, because again, story quest. Let's go.
I know there's a whole thing on her backstory about how she tried to throw away her vision.
Yeah, I was reading about that on the wiki.
So I want to know all about that part of her story and how she trained with basically nothing but her hair clip, which in my mind I'm like, she's making the forest, but no, those two.
Overrated.
I think her hair clip's like a pocket knife, so that's pretty cool. I want to know more about that because she took it to make fires and survive and stuff. So I think that's really cool. I just want to hear about her harsh training because she's not just perfect and knows how to do these things. She's an insanely hard worker.
Yeah.
She's been in the dirt.
Young too.
Yeah, she's young.
Yeah.
Sorry about the Navy comment. It's okay.
You know, people get naked sometimes.
It's okay, yeah. It wasn't weird.
I know.
I'm making it weird now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
was pocket knife haircut, cool. I like that. Yeah.
I think a hair clip pocket knife would be a very useful tool in life. And Raiden Shogun, what do you want to see?
So Raiden Shogun's been around, and then we ended the vision hunt, and then we had to defeat the puppet and all this stuff. But she still doesn't interact with the other cast members.
Yeah.
We just saw her in
I actively avoided seeing her.
I know. And so I'm sorry. He actively avoided her. He was like, I'm gonna.
At least he saw her. I'm a dog, and I couldn't see you or smell you.
No, Gorou was still too anxious looking around for Yai.
Donald, great.
Yeah. No, but I want to see her interact with people, especially the Inazumans who were affected by her choices. I want to see more. Yeah. I want to see a real apology to her. That's what I'm saying.
Apology. Raiden
Shogun apology for 2023. Let's go.
Is it going to start with a Genshin Impact version of an Instagram live? YouTube apology video?
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't forget to check out our sponsor, HelloFresh.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Great job.
Some other mobile game. No, brought to you by our sponsor, Genshin Impact. Well, Chris, what are you hoping for Capitano? Because, like, again, he's like a very mysterious figure to us right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we all saw what weapon he uses.
Yeah, that'd be
a
nice.
start, and yeah, I don't really want to say anything else.
Yeah, because you know stuff that we don't.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he shows up.
Yeah. But you want to just like low-key like slip me some notes afterwards? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Corey, what about Gorou?
There's three things.
Okay.
I would love to see Gorou finally understand that Miss Hina exists. Confront that, and probably, hopefully, with Ito also discovering that simultaneously. I really want to see Gorou, the Traveler, Kazuha, and Kokumi all hang out. Just, very chilled, something Golden Apple Archipelago style.
Yeah.
And then I really want to see Gorou and the Resistance and Kokumi get deployed to another war.
Oh.
I need to see Gorou more and more times.
Yeah.
He really didn't get as much as I think some people were expecting, and I want to see more just conflict and just throw him through, just mess him up.
Yeah. So you want emotional like trauma?
Yes, emotional damage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I might do geo damage, I received emotional damage.
Yeah, we love the existential dread,
Oh my God.
deep emotional scarring. And
That's my favorite thing.
Are you a writer?
Yeah, sometimes.
I want the damage.
and Cor, what about dear sweet Paimon?
No one cares about Paimon. I want to know more about the lady that screams at you cheap and tasty chop suey. That's one of the best characters in the game. And I also want to know more about Madame Ping.
Yeah.
She's insane and I love her. So yeah, screw Paimon.
I'll be there.
Paimon will be there anyways.
So I was gonna say, so if your answer is screw Paimon, then you're like fine if Paimon does at some point actually become emergency food.
You want to know what? Honestly, I think, because I don't know anything about the end of the game, because they literally tell us as little as possible
Right.
for these characters and everything like that. But I think if at the very end of the game, you have to like sacrifice Paimon. I think that would be a really good story writing.
Cthulhu's not gonna rise, okay?
You know what? I could try. Cthulhu almost did. Isn't that what a Silas? That's basically Cthulhu.
All right, and then another question from the wiki community is, and I know the answer for most of you is, do you play the game?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we're saying, yes. And do you find the wiki helpful? They're really
I do.
A lot, actually. A lot of the things that I look to the wiki for is just making sure that I know the scalings on different abilities.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I actually do use it a lot.
Yeah. If you've never been there, every character page is broken down really nicely, where it's like, here's a page of these characters' ascensions, and here's a page of their story stuff, and here's all their voice lines. It's really nicely organized.
I stopped after I had something spoiled for me, so I was like, I'm just gonna go on.
Not
Not going on anything, not searching anything, trying to keep as fresh as possible.
Yeah. And I know that you've been streaming it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I was gonna say I think all of you have. What has been your experience like interacting with Genshin fans online when you like stream?
Oh, it's been fun. Like my community is like, they're fun. Like we just always have a fun time like ragging on stuff that happens in the game. It's funny because like there's so much content that doesn't have like voiceover to it. So
Yeah.
I just end up like voicing all the characters, and they're like, yay!
Yay!
Really for me. And I'm like, my voice hurts.
Corey, it looked like you had something to add to the. Do you also do the voices of all the other characters?
Yes. There's like like some standards too. For some reason, I make any of the travelers' dialogue is strong bad from Homestar Runner.
Okay, Paimon, let's go do the thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Paimon is like my Zap Brannigan, so.
Yeah.
Emergency food.
I'm going to give y'all a chance to ask some questions. So what I would like you to do is form an orderly queue in the center aisle here.
And fight each other.
And then fight each other to the You just stay right there. I'm going to come down to you. Oh, people were ready. They're like, we are here to ask questions. All right. Hello, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Ray.
And Ray, what is your question?
Well, I came here to ask something from your characters. May I have a message from them all? Can you guys say in your characters' voices, happy 14th birthday?
We actually can't. Well, I can actually do that. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, I can look at my birthday real quick.
Our contracts are super strict on what we can say in our characters' names. It took me 2 years to even get approval to say happy birthday because Paimon doesn't actually say it in the game.
Oh.
So, yes, I can. What was it again?
Happy 14th birthday.
Happy 14th birthday!
I'm consulting the random Genshin Impact wiki, right?
Like, again, it's super strict. You guys have to understand, if there's anything that's not canon in the game, we have to ask for approval first. And that can take up to 2 years.
I forgot about that.
It's okay.
I got birthday
So.
Okay, ready?
Happy birthday. Let's celebrate together and make it a moment to remember for the whole year until your next birthday celebration, and so on and so forth. Then you shall have an eternity of happiness.
Thank you.
See, this is what the wiki is for.
Hopefully it's just an ad for the wiki at this point. Also, while you are like gathering that, I really, really admire all the work. I really admire all the work you guys do, and I will get your signature and I will get it. For my Raiden Shogun collection of things, I have a cosplay. I made her. I will obtain it.
Okay, yes. Today's a momentous occasion, your birthday. Allow me to arrange all the celebrations for you. We can make a bonfire on the beach and catch some fresh fish and crabs. I'll personally prepare a morale-boosting meal that would make even the highest-ranking generals jealous.
I don't think you mentioned at the funeral.
Happy funeral.
Did we find Keqing's birthday?
I'm trying to find it. There's your ads popping up.
Hot tip! This is a little insider tip. If you have a fandom account and you log in, right now, there is about a 25% chance that you will have no ads at all. So register for an account. They're free.
Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Happy 14th birthday. I've got a very special gift for you. It might look like an ordinary lantern, but my page just reset, so
Keqing had a brain fart. It's okay.
It runs on electro energy, I guess, which is pretty cool.
Thank you all so much. This is really special. It means a lot to me, especially since Genshin is like, I've been obsessed with it for so long.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you all.
Thank you, Ray. Hello, what is your name?
My name is Zai.
And Zai, what is your question?
Okay, so this is mostly at Anne about Scara, but you know, characters. So do you think like voicing your character and getting connected to them has kind of changed how you perceive other characters?
Oh, how I perceive other characters?
Mostly Scara, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing, that like I wasn't super deep into the game before I started voicing Raiden, but I will say that like from my first experience with Scara during the Inazuma Arc Conquest versus my experience with him in the Sumeru Arc Conquest is like night and day, right? Like the character development that he's had is like really, really drastic and like so well written and very interesting. And I think I was so like it's so heartbreaking in that cutscene where like he calls her mother, but it's like if you really look at like what she says about him and her voice line and like what you see is like what you read about in the lore, like she doesn't consider him necessarily as a son. And that's not like to be like she doesn't care about him, but like because she did care about him. She cared enough about him that she let him go if he wasn't like doing what what his purpose was supposed to be, right? She let him go live his life. But I don't think she regards him in the same way that he did to her. Yeah, and so people are always asking me like, I want to see a Raiden and Scar reunion. I'm like, I don't know if dramaturgically that's like the best option because like part of his whole story is about rebirth and like shedding his like shedding like the old stuff away so he can be like a good person, right? Like I don't know if like going that far back is like necessarily like the best thing for him. But I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello. What is your name?
My name is King Terry the Terrible. I'm the greatest programmer who's ever lived. I have a question for the Genshin Cast.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if this could be Oyo himself that pays you in primogens?
No. We use our own money for that. And I know, because my bill came in. I don't want to talk about it. They don't give us any free primogens or anything like that within the game at all.
We do get paychecks still.
We do get paychecks, yeah.
We don't get anything within the game.
And we give it back.
Yeah, you just get paid to offset the cost of you playing the game. Yeah.
It's very actually, it's this weird kind of like misconception that people are like, you worked in the game so you get free stuff, right? Like, you know how rare that is. I got free stuff from one game so far that I worked on, and I cried when I got it because I was like, you guys like me. But it's because like if they had to give free stuff to me, that means the whole entire cast, especially Genshin Cast, there's so many of us.
Yeah.
And then you also have to consider, okay, how many languages is this game actually done in? Because if we're just talking about the voice cast, not even programmers and stuff like that worked on it, now you're talking about the English cast, the Japanese cast, the Chinese cast, the Korean cast. That's a lot of freaking people. And also, like, not everybody in the cast does play the game. So even if they were to get free stuff in the game, that's not necessarily something that they would want. It really just comes down to when you do get free stuff from a game, it's usually from a much smaller game with like maybe a cast of 20 people, and it's very rare that happens even because usually that's with a much smaller developer that you actually get free stuff from, and they don't really have the budget all the time. So yeah.
Great, thank you very much.
Awesome. Hello. What is your name?
Megan.
Megan, what is your question?
Okay, so at Sabaton, I met Karina.
Hi.
I was the radio cosplayer
that
told you what Genshin character's favorite movies were. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay.
I think I interjected one of my own.
Alright, so now my question is, what would Genshin character's favorite movies be? This is for the whole cast, by the way.
Yeah, what do you think your character
Airbus.
I actually guess Zootopia for Gorou.
That's a good choice.
Can mine be the Parent Trap?
Okay, so this is probably the dumbest headcanon in Genshin history, but I have this weird headcanon that the Raiden Shogun and everyone in Tenryo Commission loves Pulp Fiction. Like, they just love Tarantino films. And so I have this thing where the Raiden Shogun literally stole this guy's vision in what was it, the Yashiro Commission? Yeah, the Yashiro Commission, because he said Pulp Fiction was overrated.
Yeah, brutal.
I think Keqing would like Ratatouille.
Oh I said ladybird because I just wrote, let me find my letterbox list real quick. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this.
Wow, you really thought about it.
Oh yeah, I have a whole entire letterbox.
It's not even like a Google note.
I saw the whole list.
It's a letterbox. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like she'd really be into coming of age stories, especially with female leads.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
That's right.
But also Ratatouille.
Actually, Sean Leeds is Ratatouille.
They can watch it together.
And then, wait, hold on, there's just one more I want to point out. Mean Girls and Yaimiko. Oh, also I put Gone Girl for A because...
Whoa! Yikes!
You know. And also...
Girl.
I have one more. Inception for Nihida. Like, if you do the Samsara, like in the Samsara bus, I was like literally playing it, and I was like, wow, she's in a dream. This is just like Inception. Anyways, I hope you have a great con.
Thank you so much, Megan. All right, what is your name?
My name is Freya.
Freya, and what is your question?
Well, I just want to say happy birthday to Ray. She's actually my little sister. And she's not going to stop talking about that for the next week. So, thank you for that. And I just wanted to ask, is there any specific advice that any of you would give to someone who wanted to try and get
Take acting classes. Take acting classes. Take acting classes. Take acting classes. I've gotten this question many times, and there's so many teachers that are available. You don't even have to be in Los Angeles for these classes anymore. I teach online. Charlie Adam teaches online. Adventures in Voices teaches online. VoicesVoiceCasting.com teaches online. I will write this down because I'm not saying it again.
Also, we have a voice acting panel tomorrow.
Yeah, we got that.
So we'll I'm sure we'll get into some of that tomorrow as well.
I would also recommend I Want to Be a Voice Actor.com.
That's a great one.
I want to be a voice actor. Like, your teachers will help you set up everything when it comes to demos, when it comes to how to email people, where to find people to email. They'll help you with everything, including me if you take my class.
Where can people find you?
Oh my gosh, it's so easy. It's just KarinaBecker.com.
Wow, right.
So yeah, and as I said, I suggest a lot of other teachers too, because I'm not the only one, and everybody learns differently. So if you don't take my class, that's fine. There's others available.
And also, like, if you don't have access necessarily to those initially, there's also just try community theater.
Yes.
Acting in general.
I started in community theater.
All acting is applicable in some way. It is different in the booth, but it's also not that different.
I'd say also, if you have manga you like or comics, read along and record yourself just at home for that's a great way to practice. And you have a little thing to show people if you want.
On that topic, Pokemon games don't have voice acting, so whenever my sister and I would play through Pokemon games, I would single-handedly voice every single
That's perfect.
And my throat.
Well, you
It's
also
a lot of talking.
So thank you very much. You're all lovely. Have a lovely day.
Hello, and what is your name? Caleb, what is your question?
There's been a lot of theories in the Genshin community about the storyline and the plots in different countries. Since entering the game and since you've gotten so great, what is your personal favorite theory that has come out, or that you've heard of, or your own personal theory?
Any big Genshin theories
I would say
rolling around
it
your
can be a
brains?
little tricky for us because obviously,
Because you also know some stuff that people don't
sometimes
know
we know
yet.
things, and sometimes we'll just be like, oh, that's a cool idea, but then if
And then people will
Even
take
if
that
they
as,
get-
they said this was real. They said this is going to be in the game. And I'm like, I didn't know this. And then I get in trouble.
So I think that our great theory here is that A is just, watching Gone Girl. She's meditating separately in a metaphysical plane. she's really just binging Netflix.
I would.
Do you have any that you wanted to highlight that you enjoy?
Not necessarily, because that's the first question, if they didn't answer that.
Okay, great.
What is your current team?
Oh, that's a good question.
I have Keqing. Mona's my super main. She's my DPS because Corey helped me with that. And Samanamiya is my healer, very underutilized and so broken?
I have a lot of teams. All Geo team. I have, Ningguang, Zhongli, Bennett. Xiaoling's a good team. I also do Xingqiu with Kazuha and Yelan and Hu Tao.
And Xingqiu is the best healer.
Yes, he is. Come to Gorou.com, how to build your Genshin squad.
No, I talk about theory crafting all the time on my streams, and I'm really into the gameplay, so like it is a big deal to me to like just everything I can. F4.
Yeah.
I just got a lot of new cool characters like Child and Scara, but what I've been playing with, because I haven't had a chance to outfit them, it's like the very basic crew of Go Baron Buddy. Matt, Kaya, Lisa, and then Traveler. Even though I don't like the Geo thing, I like the Wind better.
I agree. My Geo Traveler, he's, oh man.
I'm a fan of Gender Traveler.
Yeah. And?
Right now, I've been mostly running a team I like to call Mission Hunters, and it's Raiden, Kokomi, either Dendro Traveler or Nahida, and Kazuha.
All right. And Kaylee?
I'm very casual, but right now it's Ito, Gorou, Keqing, and Chi-Chi.
You didn't see it, but like Corey, the minute you said Gorou, was
he like lit up.
I don't even use it that much.
Yeah, if he were actually Gorou, his tail would have waggled at that point.
Thank you guys so much for everything.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. Come on down. What's your name?
Mark.
Mark, what is your question?
So first, a quick one. I'm not necessarily looking for spoilers, but I'm curious, have they divulged anything to you folks about Tenri?
No.
Okay.
If I don't know it, none of these guys know.
Okay, so the main question is, to what extent do you folks pay attention to some of the other language versions of the voicing when thinking about how your approach will be?
So here's the thing, we don't listen to the original Chinese before we do it, we just do it, and it's with, MiHoYo is they have a person on the call to kind of direct us where they want us to go. But the only time we ever hear the original Chinese is when it's an actual cutscene and we have to dub to it. But those are usually very short, and it's maybe 3% of the game. So we don't listen to the Chinese at all before we go in for our own take.
I would say that's all true for the recording process, but after the recording, I listened to a few of the other Gorou stuff, and what I really appreciate about Japanese Gorou in particular is he's kind of standoffish when he gets flustered, but I'm anxious when I get flustered, and I think they're both really legitimate choices, and they both fit the character, and that's really cool to see that difference while both being valid. And none of the other Gorous whimper, so I think.
Nice little flavor on it. I've listened to the other Raidens, and they're all amazing. And I think it's cool when you get together languages just to hear what's slightly different, what stays the same. It's clear that we all are playing the same character because we're making very similar choices. We're just, slightly different for one reason or another. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm always really curious. But also, when I first auditioned, I know now sometimes people get the references in the Chinese to hear first. When I auditioned,
Do they really? They didn't do that to me.
I got the Chinese.
Yeah, they did. When we did, we didn't get anything. Also, I don't know if my mic's on. That's okay. But yeah, so we maybe get a little more volume.
I don't want to touch this thing. No, my sound engineer partner would be like, don't freaking touch it.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't like me.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So yeah, but
now you're everywhere.
So the first time I heard Chinese Keqing was we were just trying to figure out how loud one specific line had to be during the session, but we had already recorded so much, so none of my choices for Keqing were dependent on something I heard at all, which I think was kind of a cool way to do it, because we all kind of made our own choices, and they're similar, Corey was saying, they're similar in a way, but they're all like unique and they're all strong choices and they are all the original choice, which I think is cool.
Finally, what TCG level are you all?
10.
Here's the problem. I'm autistic, and if you get me into a card game, you won't see me ever again. So I haven't touched it.
I'm still on 3.0 Archon Quest, but I'm TCG 10. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello. And what is your name? Carmen, what is your question?
Okay, so all of the dishes that you can make in the game, they look amazing. So it's like, if you had a professional chef to make
Golden crab.
or if you don't remember any specific dishes, just like what region do you want to eat from?
Golden crab.
Is all an option?
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say golden shrimp balls, but also like they do look like the most delicious. And I've looked like at a million, because there's a million ways that people have made them, but my favorite way is when they like mince up the shrimp in it and then make like a patty out of it and fry it and then wrap it in the potato. So I want that version, which is probably close to what it would be.
My character can't cook, so.
He said if you hire a chef, Anne.
Yeah. Well, she lives in the planet of Ukraine. She doesn't have to eat anymore.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun treat.
I'm a big fan of any like smashed seafood together. It's
Yeah.
kind of gross, but the fisherman's toast always look good.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't have any seafood in it.
Wait, it doesn't?
No! It's just toast with onions and tomato. I know because I had to say what was in it. There's no
It looks like a mash though.
It looks like it has like mashed up like salmon on it or something. It's toast for fishermen.
Leave it out for a while.
I love this moment right now.
You're supposed to keep the ingredients in the fridge so they don't smell it.
Alright, I'll eat something different. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Corey?
my actual favorite food is Gorou's favorite food is tonkatsu ramen. So Victoria's legend.
Yes.
And whatever.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Hello. Welcome. What is your name?
Matthew.
And Matthew, what's your question?
I actually have 3. Can I ask them?
You can ask one because we have a little bit of a queue here and we're running out of time.
Are there any characters in other Hoyoverse games that like you know about and would like to voice, but just don't have like the chance or opportunity to?
I haven't played another Hoyoverse game. This one takes up all my time.
100% Artem and Tears of Kingdom. No question. I want to be in an Ultimate game. I want to be a tall husbando.
Yeah.
Wait, I was like, do the boys have the longest hair on this panel? I think they do. You both have like long hair.
I'm not binary, so I don't count.
Thank you.
Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Hello. And what is your name?
My name is Michaela.
Okay, Michaela, what's your question?
Well, I love everyone's like voice acting work. It's stellar, and I was wondering if you have a favorite like voice line that either you or another character in the game says. If you can think of any.
Ooh, something that maybe was memorable in the booth.
It wasn't voice, but it's when you talk to Timmy for the first time. And you know he's mad at you for scaring off the pigeons, and then you say something, and I don't remember what it was. But he responds with, "But what if they don't come back like Daddy?"
Oh my God.
Because it wasn't voiced, I had no idea that was in the video. And I remember streaming it and crying because I was laughing so
didn't. I was like, is that really how dark that all is?
Once I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm putting all the memes in this frame. Yeah. They just opened the door.
They have no idea. Draft knows about Kimmy and Dad, so, you know, just realize
Wait, was it? Yeah, Draft has a thing?
Draft does have a thing. If we do his commission, and we find Billy Churls when you're doing the pigeons go AWOL, there's a letter, and learn about that.
Yeah. All right, Kayla, you seem ready.
What do you mean GOR kind of paraphernalia? That stuff, surely. I'm not a child anymore. Although, okay, I did buy a couple of Rex Office figures recently. Just to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Just because I own an idol or two does not mean that I idolize him, okay?
Yes.
My favorite Raiden Shogun line is, who?
Yeah. Short and simple. Who is a complete sentence? Thank you so much. All right. Hello. And what is your name?
Bridget.
Bridget, what's your question?
For Anne, can you cook in real life? Also,
yes.
So when you first found out about your character not being able to cook, how did you feel about that?
Oh my god, I thought it was the funniest thing in the whole world. I love that this game trolls her so bad.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. What is your name? Okay, Derek, what's your question?
What is the most character that you despise in this game?
Least favorite character. Character you have a lifelong personal vendetta against.
Oh.
Yeah, just like think about like how you feel about whatever airline you're in a blood feud with.
This is a love-hate relationship because I love her as a character,
Uh-huh.
but she's the worst person I've ever met and I want to be her best friend. The woman that you meet for that one quest where you go to the island with Ghost, she calls you an NPC. She flat out says, you don't seem main character enough. And I was like, I love you and hate you.
Yep. Want to start a 2-woman band, travel the world.
She's terrible and I love it.
I mean, you love to hate the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think I have a very strong love-hate relationship with Child. Because I have him at C6, because I was like, oh, he's like the Hydro Husbando that I want to be playing. And then it's like, you know, this opportunity, and other stuff, and it's like, oh, this schmuck.
I think I'm gonna go with a Baron Buddy because it takes 11 minutes to explode. So I was like, what do you think, Baron Buddy? Oh my god, you need to explode right now. It's just like dancing and doing this thing and like, stop.
You're supposed to shoot him to explode.
No, I don't have that part yet. Yeah, I have to get a constellation.
Oh, you do?
And I'm not doing that with Amber.
No.
But I like Amber, but Baron Buddy.
Amber is a sweetheart.
Yeah, Amber's great.
I have a C6, man.
That's hard.
I don't know, the real guards probably.
Yeah.
I want a bully Child, though, like real bad.
Wow. What we've discovered today is the panelist find Child kind of obnoxious. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Hello, what is your name?
Sorry.
And what is your question?
Really simple. What's the usual luck that you get when pulling on banners?
What are you talking about? It's so random for me.
Yeah. No consistency whatsoever. Just bad. Okay.
The best luck I got on this banner was Child's banner, and I wasn't even pulling for him.
Trash.
So when I started playing, a lot was around when Raiden was first released, and I really wanted Keqing, so I was like pulling over and over, and like, you shouldn't do it on the standard banner, you should just do it on like the Raiden banner, like you have a better chance, which is not true. But I kept not losing my 50-50, so I do have a C2 Raiden Shogun, and then before I ever had Keqing, who was only C1.
Yes, that
But
is
it's not that Raiden's great.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's okay. I forgive you.
Decent on the character banner, not great on the weapon banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the most painful one.
Yeah, I think that I got very angry because I was trying to get Amos' bow for Ganyu because Jen is a close friend, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait. And then a 5-star popped. Oh, this is it. And it was a bow. It was amazing. And it was like, that's a Skyward Harp. So yeah.
Unfortunate.
Please take my C100 D-Luke away from me. Please take him. I hate him so
You
much.
just train all your characters like Pokemon. Just like train around your bench characters. Thank you very much. All right. Hello. And what is your name?
I'm Thomas.
Oh, right. Yeah. Here we go. And then what's your question? Thomas, who's teaching us all about our civic duty to vote today.
I came up with so many questions in line, but the one I want to ask the most is, so I really love like how much hidden lore is in Genshin, like especially like the big moment for me was when people started analyzing the chessboard in the Fatui trailer, where people went really deep because people are, the chess pieces of the Gnosis and everyone found out that it was the exact move that the game where Kasparov played Deep Blue, and it was the first time a computer beat a person. And I love how they hide really, really deep lore that people have to analyze.
Yeah.
Is there anything in Genshin that you either dove really deep into in a rabbit hole? Or...
I like that Zhongli used to be a woman. That's my favorite. And when I actually said that publicly, people were like, wait, what? And I was like, do you not read the books? So that was a good one.
I think that my favorite kind of hidden gem, it's not that hidden, but it's probably Pretty Please Keqing in the Irritatory Festival, where they have a certain line that reflects certain anime tropes and values that amuses me immensely. If you don't know about it, just go read the book, and if you just find it, it's good.
It's a fun read.
It's fun.
Like I said, I'm avoiding all the fandom stuff, so
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
it's yeah. So everything I'm doing is just face value. Like, oh, this is really cool.
I really liked reading the Husk of Opulent Dreams. That's your first clue into like who the Wanderer skirmishes.
Yes.
I like that you can go behind that one rock and sit with the cats all day.
Wholesome. I love it. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. You're being gifted ribbons.
Whoa. I told you, people just keep getting them.
Yeah. Hello. What is your name and question?
It's Brittany, and I just wanted to say, hi Corey.
Yo.
Gorou is actually who got me into Genshin Impact, and I see 3 Ito before I got a Gorou.
This is not something that I've not heard a lot. I've heard this so many times it makes me very sad. He's kind of a bad boy sometimes.
But I did really things he said. But I wanted to ask, how do you feel about the shift between Ito and Gorou?
The shift is interesting because really they have not interacted in game until like this. And
That's not gonna stop people.
No, I know, and I get it.
Well, that ship is in crux. We also can't really mention a lot of stuff about this because again, contracts and stuff.
I know it exists, and that's fine.
We can acknowledge it.
All of your shifts are valid.
But honestly, I'm just glad that they're like kind of being pals in the most recent event that just finished, and that was like, oh, this is awesome. I hope to have like a hilarious, wholesome friendship.
I hope they become roommates.
Have you ever seen the movie The Shop Around the Corner, or You've Got
Yes.
It Wrong? Like, that's basically the same movie. But like, that's kind of like the vibes I get from the whole Disney thing. That's
Ooh, yeah, they're like pen pals.
Yeah.
They're secretly in love, but they don't know that they're pen pals with each other. Okay, great. Of course, yeah, you
Yes,
look,
give us
distribute your ribbons as you will.
And if you come to our booths for our signings, you get more ribbons yourself.
Yeah,
I got one that says emergency food.
All right.
And all you have to do is say hi. You don't have to actually get a printer.
Yeah, no, just.
But if you get a print, that's even better.
Hello, what is your name and question?
My question is, out of all the nations that have come out, which one's your favorite, or which one are you most anticipating?
questions? Oh, I think you're like contractually required to say it. Yes. What if Anne gets up there and she's just like, man, Mondstadt is just like, the vibes are outstanding.
We should get to Notland as soon as possible.
I really like Liyue, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's so pretty and the music is really, really good.
Yeah, Liyue's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I think Inazuma is hard not to say for me, but I think that the most impactful moment for me for the whole game was when I entered Liyue for the first time and realized there was such a larger world, and that the music shift was the biggest thing. Because I got in combat like pretty early, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. So.
Yeah, I'm very attached to Liyue, and like it's like okay, I get that like that's definitely a biased opinion, but like you cannot be attached to that when you've like gone through so much with your character, like as your character in that area, and then like the first time playing through it and like being there and seeing the world and the music and like the culture that they've created within the game. It's just it's beautiful.
Also, the festival there is top tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot like love Lantern Raid.
Yeah.
Lantern Raid is my favorite festival.
We did an episode of show that we do for fandom called Fanalytics, where we were asking Genshin Impact fans what their favorite of the already released regions was, and Liyue won both with the people we pulled in person and online. So, so sorry to all of you Inazumans up there, but people love Liyue. It's got great music.
You know what? Liyue didn't electrocute me.
Liyue doesn't actively try to kill you.
Giant creatures in the ocean, though.
That's true. That just makes me like it more. It's a giant octopus creature.
Alright.
It's so cool. We through this.
I still have 2 ribbons that I can give you guys. If that's okay?
Yeah! This is just turning into Ribbon Fest. You go ahead and hand out the ribbons. They're in your bag. Okay, well you do that. You come on down and you can ask your question. Hello, what is your name? Okay, Maya, what's your question?
I was gonna ask, have you guys made a lot of friends working on the Genshin team?
Yeah.
All of these.
Corey and I met because of Genshin. Anne and I met because of Genshin. Even though you already knew my partner because he was recording on a different thing. And Sarah Miller Cruz is a really good friend now, and I've never met her before Genshin. Gosh, a lot of people.
Yeah, 100% for me. I think everyone it's like Genshin adjacent, you know, and it's meant a lot to me. For sure. Thank you for everything.
Great question.
No problem.
Come on down. Hello. What is your name and also your question?
My name is Neo, and if you guys could voice a different character besides yours, who would it be?
Timmy. He does have a voice. I believe it's Erica Mendez because he's voiced him like a little. Oh, it's Christy.
I think so.
I thought it was Erica Mendez. I could be wrong. It's either Christy or Erica Mendez. But he's voiced a little bit in Venti's story quest. Just a little bit, but I wish he was voiced more. So yeah.
I would never take a job from another actor, of course, but like a Zhongli type.
Yeah. Yeah, a tall, mysterious husband, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
The smithy. I'd like to be a continuous smith.
You got a few more nations.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, and she has a voice, but I don't know. I think she might have got a voice. It's an NPC. Jet from the Samira quest. Yeah, okay. I just want to have a bend. That's all I want.
Yes.
Think like a Yaya Nicholas character.
Yeah.
I no longer want to be busy, I want power.
Tall, intimidating ladies. Yeah. That's why Corey's like, I gotta become tall, strong, mysterious man. Because I'm scared of tall, strong lady. Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you. And what is your name? Zhongli, yes. I mean, yeah. What's your question?
Would you guys like to answer a question for more?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? Time to go.
Oh, this is a trivia
Give
question.
it a hard one.
If it's a hard question.
Yeah. If we don't know it, then we'll just sand.
How many 5-star weapons are in Genshin as of?
and will Price is Right rules it.
Okay, so you can't go over.
Can't go over.
25.
24, yeah.
25, 24.
How many characters are there? That's a good point. Yeah, right? So me it's 35.
35.
One weapon.
What? Corey?
I'll go with 30.
30. Okay, what's the answer?
The answer is 34.
All right, come ask your second question.
When you gave like, I guess part one, have you ever given a performance where you don't know the full context of the character?
This game? I still have no idea where Paimon came from or what she is.
What kind of type of performance would you give if you knew about the context of the character beforehand? If you knew what you knew now?
Oh, is there something you'd change?
I mean, you can hear that in my performance because at the beginning of the game
it's different.
Much lighter and not as high pitched.
Yes.
And then yeah, they were telling me no, go more higher every 5 minutes. So yeah.
Corey, Chris.
I think if I knew more information, then we would have been able to make some more clear choices. But you know, they have changes on their end too. You know, and that's part of every single job we do.
Yeah.
Is we just do the best we can with the information we get.
And especially when you're working on a game like Genshin that is constantly being updated.
Exactly.
Like the game is constantly changing as well. So.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, I think we could always. I mean, they're great, but I could have been more consistent on my character. But I'm really happy with where it ended up. I think that's.
No, my performance.
No, but really, the answer is that like you do the best you can. Like there's no point in trying to wish you could have changed it because you can.
Yeah.
You just hope that you do the best.
There's also times where in a game like this, I've had many games, not just this one, where they tell you something, and then you're like, okay, cool, this is how I'm going to perform this section, because next time I come in, this is what's going to happen. And then that thing just doesn't happen. And I'm like, then do we have to re-record? And they're like, no. Okay.
We should.
We should. But sure.
It's also like it's a lot of trust in not letting your own opinions get in the way.
Right.
Sometimes you're like, no, this is how I think it should be, and then you're like colliding with this, and they're like, they have the bigger idea generally. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of trusting what they want, because if you try and like butt up against it, it's actually not going to turn out as good. And it doesn't, like your opinion, my opinion doesn't matter.
Well, another thing is like, oh, sorry. Oh.
No, that's pretty much.
Oh no, I was just going to piggyback off that. Like if one person has they have a bigger scope in mind with all their games. This is kind of like also with dubbing when it's like, oh, I'm going to do this. You don't follow the path and then another voice actor is following the path, then it's not going to line up. You're not going to be in the same world.
Yeah. Trust the process, trust the plan, trust that Genshin Impact will continue to get updates, and maybe 2 years from now we'll get to hear Chris's performance.